As I continue to follow the unbelievable, the unreal tragedy of the great Kobe Bryant and his daughter being killed by a helicopter crash. The latest on this is from the Los Angeles Times, and now the death toll has unfortunately it rose from having 5 people on board until it's officially 9 people that died. So the link for this article will be in the description. All right. So according to Los Angeles Times, Kobe Bryant daughter Gianna among 9 dead in helicopter crash in Calabasas. Now, Kobe Bryant, who was 41, we know the legendary basketball star who spent 20 years with the Lakers, was killed when the helicopter he was traveling in crashed and burst into flames Sunday morning amid foggy conditions in the hills above Calabasas. Now, his daughter, Gianna, who was 13, was also on board and died along with 7 others, authorities said. Now, NBA officials confirmed that Bryant and his daughter were on the aircraft. And LA County Sheriff Alex Villanova, if I messed up your name, I'm sorry, said there were 9 people on the aircraft, a pilot and 8 passengers. He would not confirm who had died until all the next of kin are notified, he said. Now, Bryant's death stunned LA and the sports world, which mourned one of basketball's greatest players. Sources said the helicopter took off from Orange County, where Bryant lived. The crash occurred shortly before 10 a.m. near Los Virgenes Road, south of Agora Road, according to a watch commander for the sheriff's department. Now, Jerry Cochran was standing outside the church in the canyon drinking coffee when he heard a helicopter that was flying unusually low and struggling. It didn't sound right, and it was real low. I saw it falling and spluttering, but it was hard to make out as it was so foggy, Cochran said. The helicopter vanished into a cloud of fog, and then there was a boom. Now, there was a big fireball, he said. No one could survive that. The helicopter, Sikorsky S-76B, built in 91, departed John Wayne Airport at 9:06 a.m. Sunday, according to publicly available flight records. The chopper passed over Boyle Heights near Dodger Stadium and circled over Glendale during the flight. The National Transportation Safety Board database does not show any prior incidents or accidents for this aircraft. The helicopter is registered to the Fillmore-based Island Express Holding Corp., according to the California Secretary of State Business Database. Now, right here is where Kobe Bryant helicopter crashed. After taking off in Orange County, the helicopter flew northwest and then crashed shortly before 10 a.m. near Los Virgenes Road, south of the 101 freeway in Calabasas. So, we extend our sincerest condolences to all those affected by today's Sikorsky S-76B accident in Calabasas, California. The helicopter's manufacturer, Sikorsky, said in a tweet, "We have been in contact with the NTSB and stand ready to provide assistance and support to the investigative authorities and our customer." Kobe Bryant was a giant who inspired, amazed, and thrilled people everywhere with his incomparable skill on the court, and awed us with his intellect and humility as a father, husband, creative genius, and ambassador for the game he loved. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti said in a news statement Sunday afternoon he will live forever in the heart of Los Angeles and will be remembered through the ages as one of our greatest heroes. Across the country Sunday, public figures, former teammates, and fans alike mourned the basketball star, particularly when he was young, to be a part of his life and to watch his career grow. Watch him grow. This is one of the most tragic days of my life, said fellow Lakers legend Jerry West, who was 81. West was the general manager for the Lakers in '96 and maneuvered Bryant's immediate trade to the Lakers when he was drafted. I know somewhere along the way I'll come to grips with him, but now I have all these different emotions regarding him. Things I watched him do on the basketball court, but more importantly, he was making a difference off the court. is so unexplainable. This is going to take a long time for me. So Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started. And what would have been just a meaningful second act, former U.S. President Barack Obama tweeted, "To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle and I send our love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day. It was so sad and surreal seen inside Staples Centers around noon Sunday, where a dress rehearsal for the Grammy Awards was taking place. As word of Bryant's death swept through the arena, crews worked quickly to move Bryant Raptor jersey side by side and match the other retired jerseys with curtains. By 1 p.m., the switch had been made. Number 8 and 24 were side by side, illuminated by floodlights. News of the crash dominated the rehearsal. Ariana Grande had just finished a lavish performance, and Billie Eilish was about to perform an acoustic song with her brother. But all eyes were on the jerseys at the end of the floor as staff and observers watched in disbelief. Within half an hour of the news breaking, Barnes & Noble and Orange had sold out of all books featuring the former NBA stars. Kind of morose, but people just came in 10 to 15 minutes after we found out about it, said Armando Romero, a bookseller at the cash register. He said his general manager announced Bryant's death to the booksellers over their wireless headsets. "We knew right away people would be coming." Minutes later, Romero said he received phone calls from customers asking to put Bryant-related books on hold. At the Fullerton Mexican restaurant El Camino Real, the staff was really sad, said manager Rodolfo Garcia. Bryant patronized the restaurant for 20 years with his wife, a Fullerton native. If he couldn't come in person, Bryant would have friends get big artists to take back to his Newport Coast home. He liked the canadas and flan, Garcia said over the thud of a butcher breaking down canada asada for tacos. He loved his place because people treated him like a normal person. Kobe would just stand in line like anyone else. He'd tell us, "Don't treat me like a star, I'm just a customer here." Bryant was born in Philly. His father, Joe, played 8 seasons in the 1970s and 80s for the Philly 76ers, San Diego Clippers, and in his last stop, the Houston Rockets under the coach Dale Harris, a lighthearted 6'10" string bean who went by the Philly playground name Jelly Bean. Joe Bryant played college ball at LaSalle and married Pam Cox, the sister of a starting guard at Villanova. They named their son Kobe after the city in Japan. Kobe Bryant excelled at Lower Merion High and at Moore, Philadelphia, winning numerous national awards as senior before announcing his intention to skip college and enter the NBA draft. He was selected 13 overall by Charlotte in '96, but the Lakers had already worked out a deal with the Hornets to acquire Bryant before his selection. Bryant impressed Lakers general manager Jerry West during a pre-draft workout session in Los Angeles. Less than 3 weeks later, the Lakers started center Vlade Divac to the Hornets in exchange for Bryant. Bryant, whose favorite team growing up was the Lakers, had to have his parents co-sign his NBA contract because he was 17 years old. Now, the 6'6" guard made his pro debut in 96-97 season opener against Minnesota. At the time, he was the youngest player to appear in an NBA game. He started in only a handful of games during his rookie season, coming off the bench in support of Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. However, Harris played him more as the season progressed, allowing Bryant to showcase the skills that made him top candidate for Rookie of the Year. Those skills also was on display when Bryant won the '97 NBA Slam Dunk competition. He continued to improve during his sophomore season in the league, averaging 15.4 points per game. However, his breakout came out in the lockout-shortened 98-99 season when he excelled in all 50 games after the Lakers traded away Van Exel and Jones. Now here's a scene of what happened. Just horrific. Every time I see this, I'm in like awe. Here's the scene of where that helicopter crashed, and it's just truly sad. Now, Bryant and leading scorer Shaq quickly morphed into one of the most lethal scoring defensive combinations in the league. Together with Coach Phil Jackson guiding them, they led the Lakers to 3 consecutive championships. And that was through 2000 and 2002 as Bryant began to cement his place as the game's top player. There's no words to express the pain that I'm going through with this tragedy of losing my niece Gigi and my brother O'Neal tweeted Sunday. "I love you and you will be missed. My condolences goes out to the Bryant family and the families of the other passengers on board. I'm sick right now." Despite coming together to win some of the most closely fought playoff series in the Lakers' history, friction started to develop between Bryant and O'Neal. As we all know, they still excelled, and Bryant was hit with an arrest in 2003 for some allegations that he truly didn't do. Charges will eventually drop, and after the Lakers lost to Detroit in the NBA Finals with a star-studded team including Malone and Gary Payton, O'Neal was traded to Miami, and Bryant signed a 7-year contract to remain with the team. Bryant summed up the tension between him and O'Neal after the Lakers won the title in 2009. We were great as individuals. It was probably the first dynamic duo that had 2 alpha males on one team. So Bryant posted some of the best offensive numbers of his career over the next 3 seasons, but the team struggled, failing to make the playoffs in 2005 before suffering consecutive first-round defeats to Phoenix in 2006 and 2007. And Jackson returned to the team in 2005 and 2006, and Bryant went on to lead the league in scoring that season with the career-best 35.4 average. He scored 40 points or more in 27 games and became the first player since Wilt Chamberlain in 1964 to finish with 45 points or more in 4 consecutive games. His biggest single-game achievement came January the 22nd, 2006 against Toronto when he scored a career-high 81 points. Yes, the second most in NBA history. Earlier that season, on December 20th, 2005, he scored 62 points in 33 minutes through 3 quarters against Dallas. Bryant continued to impress during the 2006-07 season, scoring 50 or more points in a team record 10 games and averaging 31 points a game to capture his second NBA title. Now, Laker legend Kareem was at that game. He said in Twitter video, "It is something that I will always remember as one of the highlights of the things that I have learned and observed in sports." Now, Kobe has done so much, and the list goes on. Kobe Bryant also became the youngest player in NBA history to have 27,000 points. And like I said, this man has achieved so much, and to see and hear what happened today is truly a tragic, and all I can say right now is R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. to his daughter and the rest of the passengers, and God bless. I don't think I can